Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1112 of our daily content grind. Today, we're going to be talking about my trip out to California. Specifically, I went out there for Twitchcon, which you wouldn't expect me, of all people, to go to Twitchcon. I have not streamed on Twitch in years for various reasons. So the first question a lot of people asked me when they found out was, why? Why are you going to TwitchCon of all places? Like, I never fly out for cons. So why did I fly out for a con that doesn't completely fit my brand, right? It doesn't really, like, strike me as a TJOmega thing to do. You know, you'd think I would fly out to, like, a TF con, or I would fly out to, you know, like some big, you know, like, big toy convention, etc., that kind of thing. No. We don't always have to do that. No, the whole reason I went to TwitchCon is because friends. I wanted to meet up with friends. And I had a bunch of streaming friends that I've made in the last couple years that were already going to TwitchCon, so it seemed like a natural place to go. The big thing for it was my D&D group, my scheduled conflicts, which you can see every Thursday at the Gob the Goblin Twitch channel. We wanted to see each other. We wanted to meet in person. So that was the whole crux of it. I'm the one who actually suggested TwitchCon because I figured like they were all streamers. I will eventually get back to streaming myself. So I thought it'd be a great way of just like getting to know people, introducing ourselves, etc. Maybe make a few connections, make some new friends, and prepare ourselves for a streaming future. I thought it was networking was an excuse. We really just wanted to see each other. So I thought I'd just tell you about how the con went, and then after that, I'm going to tell you some of the other adventures we did in California. Because me and Gob, the DM of Scheduled Conflicts, and a good friend for a long time in real life, we went together. So we went on other adventures before and after convention. We will tell you about those at the appropriate times. So for starters, I'm just going to let you know right now, I kind of forgot to take a lot of photos inside the con. I didn't take a whole lot of photos of the venue itself. So I'm just going to like run you down. So TwitchCon is an interesting type of convention. It is an extremely social experience. Everyone there is a content creator of some kind or a purveyor of content creators. So you had a lot of people shilling their own stuff. You had a lot of people like with little like sticker or little like item giveaways, that type of thing. But everyone there is basically just there to socialize, meet people, meet up with friends they only see once a year, that kind of thing. So I wanted to meet everyone I possibly could. Didn't get to because it's a big con. Everyone's got their own schedules, but did what we could. But because it's so social of an event, the actual events they do for the convention are a little bit weird because it's all very like, it's all very like secular almost. Because like the streamers they invite to do big events or host panels or things like that, it's always for a specific thing, you know, like I don't really feel like sitting down and watching a bunch of people play Call of Duty or anything like that. Not my thing. So instead, like, so like a lot of that areas didn't interest me, but that seemed to be the case for a lot of people. Is like, at least in my group, most people I was talking to were there to see friends, and no one was really interested in going to the actual like TwitchCon official events. Which they did have neat things, but like nothing that really piqued my interest. You know, like there's doing like a can real life streamers become VTubers type thing. That was kind of funny. Didn't get to go to it though. So let me tell you the vibe. Let me tell you the vibe of the con, because the vibe is weird. The vibe is very weird. So decor wise, the con is always like there's these giant things. There's these giant inflatables. Like the big duck here, they had a big purple Mario star. They had a giant mushroom, a giant burger, just things that they think were kind of funny, I guess. If you ever saw the snakehead emote on Twitch, there's a big version of that you could get a photo with. Things like that. So like it's a very bizarre layout and deco that they went with. Setup wise, it's a 2-floor convention center. On the lower floor is corporate TwitchCon, because you have all the big sponsor areas. You know, Capcom had a big booth where they were doing Monster Hunter Wilds promotion, and I wish I could have gotten in on that. There's the meet and greet area. There is like the official like partner sponsors for merchandise and things like that. There's a section for Chevron because Chevron was sponsoring it. Okay, fine. And then there's like a DJ area. There's the stage area for live gameplay, things like that. All the official stuff down below. And it feels very corporate, like there's a whole section for like NVIDIA, I think, had like a booth there of like demonstrating how good their hardware is, that type of thing. So very corporate, very official, but it still tried to keep like a party atmosphere with like the live music and like the big crowds of people, all that. But really like not like not like a social experience type area. And the first day we went, we were like, is this really it? This is weird. This is really weird. It was only later in the first day we found out, oh no, there's an upstairs area too. The second floor also has TwitchCon, and second floor TwitchCon feels like an actual convention like you would normally go to. There's a big section off to one side that is all like snack stands and like beverage places, so you can get some refreshments, you can get a little bit of snack in you. And it's a lot of like open tables to congregate and just sit down and talk to your friends, and then beside that, and intermixed with all these seats, and this went for outside as well, because there were also food stalls outside with the worst tacos I've ever had, by the way, but they were there and they were available. They also had like giant games set up, so you could just do stuff together. There's a giant chessboard with giant pieces on it. There was a giant Connect 4. There was a micro mini golf course that you could play. Just weird stuff like that. So you could just, hang out with friends and play big, dumb games together. Little things, it is very much like an ADHD convention. As someone described it to me when I told them like this. It's just like, look in a direction, there's something to do. It's like there's always something to like go do. And then beside that is the artist alley. And the artist alley was huge. Artist alley was absolutely gigantic. I'm going to point that out because I didn't take a photo of everything I got. I took a photo of this because someone actually remembered Mischief Makers. One of my favorite games of all time, extremely obscure these days, but someone actually had stickers for the main character, and that made me very, very happy. I got a few things. I got some sticker sheets from that seller. I got a charm of like a keychain for Komo-O, one of my favorite dragon Pokemon, because it's flip side, normal on one side, shiny on the other, and the shiny is super obnoxious looking, and I love it. Someone's making custom like resin D20s, so I got one with like these like gold inlays that aren't painted on the edge. They're like actually sunken into the die, so the edges are not going to wear off. It looks really, really cool. They were doing really cool stuff completely. Like they did like devil fruit from One Piece floating inside the D20s. There was like a full beholder, like fully painted inside one of them. Really cool stuff. And that was like the really cool dice place that I wanted to support. I bought that, that gold lay D20. And then like on the other side, there was a guy who was kind of just selling what looked like dice he bought off of Amazon, put in a bottle, and called it just like potion dice. That's not nearly as cool. That's not nearly as cool. So I picked the dice seller that was doing good stuff. But there was so much in the merch area. There were, your usual stuff. There's posters. There's art prints. There's greeting cards. Someone did greeting cards. Lots of just really fun stuff. Lots of really creative people. I bought a flump. A flump is like this like really low challenge Dungeons and Dragons monster that you're not even really supposed to fight because they're mostly just scared of you. But it's this cutesy little version of a flump, and I loved it, and I had to leave with it. So I said, like, it's a social convention, right? So I had a few people I had to meet. One of them was Party Demoness, Minerva. We got to hang out for a good bit on Saturday. We were mostly just sitting and resting together, and we're just kind of like going over things. I was showing off some of the Project Starcatcher stuff. She liked that. And yeah, we made a mission at one time to, like, she was in the mood to write or sketch. I can't remember which, but she wanted a notebook. We went around the artist alley trying to find a notebook just so she could get her, like, art fix out of the way. And we failed. And I'm just kind of screaming in my head, if this was 10 years ago, there'd be death notes all over the place. But she's a lot of fun to hang around with. I'm glad we actually got to, I'm glad we got to hang out for a little bit and actually like human beings, because you never get to sit and just talk to your internet friends like human beings. Also found Red Claw, who you've seen on this channel. Red is awesome. Red has been Red back in the day was trying to send me a Star Saber, Master Beast Star Saber. He wanted to loan me that toy for review. And at the time I was like, I don't, and this is still true. This is still true. I never accept loaners from fans because I don't want them to trust the postal system with their collectible. Like, if you're selling it, fine. If you're gifting it, fine. But if you're loaning it and you need it back, please do not, because I don't want to risk the chance. I don't want to take the chance that it breaks while I'm reviewing it. I don't want to take the chance that the post office breaks it or loses it completely. You know, so I always turn down loaners. Always. And I turned down Reds because I was getting Star Saber myself eventually. Of course I was. So I was going to wait till then. I never reviewed it. I never reviewed Masterpiece Star Saber. And I'm the Star Saber guy. I've reviewed the G1 toy. And I haven't reviewed the original. And someone in the comments, I know I haven't reviewed the HasLab either. Let me just enjoy it. So, weirdly enough, like, just fates collide and me and Red come together again, and he is a pal. He is a good pal. It was great to see him in person. You know, great to just, like, talk, hang out again, like normal human beings. There's a bunch of streamers that they are attached to that I would have loved to have gotten to meet. I met Demon Queen Vivi, who's a prolific VTuber artist, and they were a lot of fun to meet. Met a few others, linked to them, not nearly as many as I wanted to meet, but, like, it's cool to make new connections and new friends. I love that. The one I wish I could have, like, sat and talked to for a bit was Veggie BL Tail, who, if you don't know, has, like, some of the best stories I've ever heard. He's an extremely funny entertainer, as you can tell by the fact that he came dressed as Hatsune Eggman. He's a trip. So at least I got to say hi. But yeah, like, that's the thing of this con, is, like, there's so many people and everyone's so busy and everyone's got plans with everybody else. You never get a chance to really just talk to people. You know, everyone's in their own circles, and it's hard for that, you know, because they've seen each other from years and they've streamed together for years. I'm just a little bit new in Red and Minerva's life by comparison. So, like, I'm in a little bit. I met some cool people, not all of them, but, you know, plenty of time for that. And it was cool. And I love getting to meet the people I did. Meeting my own people was cool. We got to do the VTuber thing. We took all of our scheduled conflicts characters and we did the phone thing. It was fantastic just to meet everyone. It was sad. Like, we spent like the most of 3 days together, and it was hard to separate when the time came. Yeah, everyone is great. Like, we play off each other all so well. Like, it's a miracle that you put a D&D group together that gets along as well as we do. Everyone just kind of meshes really, really well. And that's a rare thing. And to see each other in person and to be able to see faces and, like, react, you know, without, like, Discord delay on it, that's really special. Like, to actually still have that connection, to find out it's even stronger in person. Yeah, I love them. I love those. I love that group. I love everyone in that group. Yeah, it was worth it. The trip alone, just to see them, was worth it. you know, a lot of stuff happened. Like a lot of stuff that I like, some things that I don't even want to get into because it's other people's business. But everything was fantastic with them. We walked the streets of San Diego, hit some really good food places, got some really good ice cream. Someone recognized me on the streets of San Diego, not even like wearing a con badge, just some random guy, which is a first. Anytime I get recognized, it's in like my privy. It's in like my general area. It's in a toy shop, or it's at a convention that, you know, either like MetroCon that I'm always at, or it's at you know, like a toy convention or something, you know, places that you would expect nerds and expect people who know me. This is just a random guy on the street, just stopped me out of nowhere. Kind of amazing. So that's a bucket list experience I can check off. I've actually done that now. God, there's so many little stories. Like there's nothing crazy happen, you know. Like we walked the con together. We met, you know, we went around finding the people we wanted to meet, hung out, said hi to a lot of people. Went back to the hotel room and like just kind of played games together, you know. For any of my friends watching, taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza. That mantra will be in my head forever. But it was fun. If there's any regret from the con, I didn't get to do any of the Monster Hunter stuff like I mentioned, and that is upsetting. Like, this is a photo. You could sit on this and take a photo, but every time I went by this booth, it was so freaking busy. I didn't want to like make everyone wait an hour just so I could get a photo on top of a plastic chicken. Which, you know, I don't like photos of me in the first place, so I did that also made me hesitate before doing this. I think I look way better in video than I do in still photos. That's what that boils down to. But I should have. I also wanted to get in on the Monster Hunter Wilds demo they had. Couldn't get in. Book solid. Ugh. This is so close, but I must wait till February like everybody else. There's one photo that I did get taken. We got a couple photos. Like there's a group photo that's just for us. But there's one photo that I needed to get taken. I wasn't going to leave without it. I got to meet Ironmouse. Now, for those who are unaware of VTubers and all that, Ironmouse is the biggest English-speaking VTuber in the world. She is the most successful. She is extremely entertaining. She's the first VTuber I really found and gravitated to. It's just absolutely amazing content creator. Multiple awards, multiple first-time records on Twitch, that kind of, you know, that level of quality. She also suffers from an immune deficiency disorder that she does charity work for all the time. She talks about all the time to raise awareness. So she has a lot of debilitations in her life because she essentially has no immune system. I won't detail it all. You can imagine how limited her life is because she can't go out in public. She can't be around other people. This is as close as you're ever going to get to actually being in the room with her. But there's a live mic. There's a webcam. She can see me. I can talk to her. I got to thank her for being the inspiration that she is. Discovering her, seeing everything she goes through and what she accomplished despite that is the reason you see daily content coming from me. So if you've enjoyed the daily content on TJOmega, it is because she inspired me. And getting to thank her in person for that, that meant the world to me. Like my friends will tell you, like before the con, I was all about, we got to get there early so we can get through badge registration and I can get into line. I cannot miss this. I cannot miss this. This is like my sole focus. The only thing I scheduled the entire weekend was meeting her, and it was worth everything. I also showed her Project Starcatcher because I thought she'd be into it. She is. So let me tell you the other vacations in California. I will try to make this quick because there is a lot. We are already at the 20-minute mark here. We stayed at the Horton Grand Hotel in San Diego, which should come as so to some of you might know that because it's famous for being very haunted. This photo is of the bad room, the haunted room. The one that tourists stay in if they want haunted experiences. I didn't know how any of my party were going to respond to the idea that the hotel is haunted. because different people have different superstitions about this kind of thing. But it's a 5-minute walk to the convention center, so I wasn't gonna. I didn't want to like book a new hotel just in case somebody went. Not happening. So I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell anyone we were staying at a haunted hotel. That's my little surprise for afterwards. We stayed 4 doors down. Our room was 4 doors down from the bad room. We were on the haunted floor. Oh, it was fun. It was funny. It was funny. Everyone was cool with it afterwards. Since it's San Diego, we did go to the San Diego Zoo because that's the thing you have to do when you go to San Diego is you go to the zoo. And it is an incredible zoo. It is incredibly well maintained. It is the size of a theme park, and it feels like a theme park because every 15 minutes you'll run across another snack stand and another gift shop. Yes, I took home gifts. I took, the big thing for me was I wanted to see the tortoises because they have Galapagos tortoises, like tank turtles. And I really wanted to see them. I got to see them. They're amazing creatures. I love turtles so much. Like the reptile house is like the first thing you run into when you go into the main gate. So like, I had my fill of turtles, like little swimmers in the tanks and big tortoises, like box tortoises in their own big pen. Like I had plenty of turtle, but everything there was like incredible. 3 of us tapped out. Because what they don't warn you is that it's hills. The zoo is built on hills, so it's a lot of up and down hill, and the up hills are hard, especially if you are from Florida, and hills are not a thing you have to normally deal with. So ironically, it was the Florida boys, the 3 of us who were actually Floridians, who stuck through it and walked the whole zoo, whereas the other 3 hung back and went, and retreated back to the main entrance. So, and unfortunately, probably not worth it, because like on the backside, the last leg of it is like some cool animals, like camels and buzzards and all that. The vultures were preening themselves, so I didn't get a good look at them. Let's see, what else is back there? The lions are back there. The lions were asleep. I didn't get a look at them. Oh, the polar bears. I've never seen actual polar bears. Let me go see polar bears. Polar bear, one is asleep, the other one is nervously pacing outside the pens because the third one is currently being taken care of. Unfortunately the last leg wasn't all that thrilling. Thrilling stuff was just like seeing the giant animals you don't normally get to see. I took a lot of video of the rhino because seeing that a rhino in person is great, and they were close enough to our side of the pen to really get a good look at them. Got a lot of shots of like the elephants and the giraffes. Sometimes they were close enough to really like get a good look at and enjoy. We got to see like a hippo, who are, gargantuan if you've never seen one in person. Unfortunately, too far away, to really get a good experience with them. Yeah, just a lot of really cool animal encounters. The one thing we couldn't do was see the pandas because the wait line is like 2 hours long to see the pandas, because it's one of the only places outside of China you can see pandas. So we didn't get to do that, unfortunately. But the zoo was incredible. The zoo was a lot of fun. I took home a plush tortoise, because of course I did. Took home a couple of Transformers too. Like they had like cheap knockoff-y Transformers that were like, based on some of the animals in the exhibit, like elephant and a panda and all that. So that'll probably be just a future Goofy video we do. Just to kind of show off, like, oh yeah, here's some like weird knockoff-y things I got in California. But it was a really cool experience. It was a really cool experience. I wish I could have done it again with a little bit more knowledge of like, yeah, go visit the pandas first and then visit the rest of the zoo. Also missed the penguins because those weren't clearly marked. So San Diego was the bulk of the trip. However, because it was cheaper and we had a friend in the area, we actually flew into Los Angeles, which means we had a couple of days for Los Angeles adventures. Both Thursday and Monday, the day before and the day after, were pretty much clear. The one thing I had to do while I was in Los Angeles and while I was in LA was visit Blast from the Past, which is the final resting place of Derek Wyatt's toy collection. And it is a really nice shop. There's a lot of really cool stuff in there. Because it's like LA and it's around Hollywood and all that, there's some big time stuff in there that you don't normally see, like prop masks and things. Really, really fun place to visit. And I was glad, like, even though Derek's collection isn't like overtaking their Transformer selection anymore, it was still great to just go and see like what was left in person for myself. Because my friend Edgar, who I got to meet for the first time on this trip, hi Edgar, he's been sending me things that they've been putting out for a long time now. So to go and get it with my own hands, I think was really special. I did walk out with another of Derek's toys, the BotCon sweep, forgetting the fact that I already had one, and it is one of Derek's. I bought one years ago at BotCon 2010 and ended up selling it off. So I've accidentally denied myself a full trio, but I have the Scourge, so they look great flanking the Scourge. I wish I didn't have an updated photo of the Derek collection, so I forgot which ones I had. Otherwise, I probably would have taken the Razor Claw, because they have a Razor Claw there, sans Cyber Key, a BotCon Razor Claw, sans Cyber Key. And if it had the Cyber Key, I would have taken it. But who cares? I got 2 of Derek's 3 sweeps. I'll take that. And the last day, because Gob has never been out of state, Gob has never gotten to really explore anything else in the world. I really wanted to take him to the place I was taken to the first time I was in LA. First, I had to be led around then. Now I get to lead around. We went to Little Tokyo. Specifically, we went to the Japanese Village Plaza, which, it's a small slice of Little Tokyo. It's like admittedly kind of tourist trappy. It's a lot of Japanese restaurants and it's a lot of, collectible and toy shops. So it's right up my alley, but it's a great place to just kill an afternoon's worth of time. We had no problem like burning like 4 or 5 hours here. We got, he got tempura shrimp, I got pork katsu, just like food and stuff that we can't really get here in Florida. It's just, it certainly doesn't taste, it's certainly not as authentic as it is there. The shops are incredible. The shops are absolutely incredible. So we went to a shop called Book Off, which is an actual chain of Japanese resellers and collectible resellers that have official stores here in LA and around Little Tokyo. There's like 3 of them, but the one we went to opened up literally a week before we got there, which great timing. Fantastic stuff inside there. I walked out with a Kiva figure, which you'll see here in a bit. But yeah, just really cool shop. There's just like loads of just really rare import stuff. Other shops include things like there's an official Sanrio store. There is a crane game parlor. There's a pop-up shop for just normal anime stuff. I'm trying to remember all. There's lots of knick-knacky stuff, like lots of things that like a tourist would think of, like traditional like Japanese souvenir things, kitsune masks and things like that. There's a few clothing outlets. There's a Japanese vinyl shop that like imports like real Japanese vinyl stuff, like the hand spun stuff. That place also had a couple of Kamen Rider shirts that were way too small for me because they were all in Japanese sizes, and even an XL Japanese is not going to fit American XL TJOmega, which is unfortunate because it was a Shocker shirt, which would have been really cool. Also, there was a Stronger shirt. I'd never seen a shirt of Kamen Rider Stronger. It was a large, which meant there was no chance of me ever fitting in it unless I removed ribs. And then, yeah, you see there's one store that's just Gashapon. That was amazing to see. It's all good, like, Bandai Gashapon. Next to it is just a place that, like, there's a, the arcade games in Japan that are based on, like, collectible cards. They had, like, one that's all Naruto-based next door. Didn't go into that, because that would have been a trap. So yeah, like tons of really, really good shops. But the one that everyone goes to and the one everyone knows is Anime Jungle. Anime Jungle is 3 stores. Anime Jungle is a TCG shop, a shop for brand new anime merch, and then there's the shop you see here, which is their used toy shop, and it is loaded with rarities. not only like a lot of Japanese import rarities, you know, there's a lot of Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, etc., but also huge Gundam and Mini Plus section. That's all brand new stuff. And then a lot of used things from America too. Gob, since I started working at the toy store, asked me to watch out for battle-scarred Gundam figures. This store had them on card. I've never seen them any toy shop that me and him have gone to. I haven't seen them in this store. I saw them there. We had to go 2,500 miles, but eventually I did get him to the Gundam toys he's been after from his childhood for years. So I'm glad he found those. I'm very happy he managed to get those. Yeah, so we had God, there's so much from the store. I took so many photos from this store alone. I can't show them all because we're already running very long on this video. I love this store. I've been here twice. I walk away with really cool stuff both times. I will end the video by showing you what I got. But I want to show you like the last thing we did in LA before actually going off to the airport, which, by the way, American Airlines sucks. JetBlue is way nicer to fly. Just to let you know. But the last victory lap of the whole trip, we got some taiyaki. This is essentially that's just a waffle. It's a fish-shaped waffle. It's filled with red bean paste, which is traditional, but you can get Nutella, like vanilla cream, etc. And they serve it on top of ice cream, and it's, oh my god, so good. It's like soft waffle. It's not like a waffle cone here where it's all crunchy. It's like soft waffle. It's a little bit warm still. It's moist. Like the filling, like the red bean paste is really, really good. I can't find this anywhere at any Japanese restaurant, which is weird to me because the red bean paste is really the only weird thing that you'd have to import for it. But no, like it was so good to finally get this. I've been craving this for a while. So that made me happy. So just so you know what the haul was, this isn't the entire haul, because there's a few little things here and there. Here were the pickups from Little Tokyo. So yeah, yes, I found a Mega Man. I found Rush. I had that toy as a kid. It's really cool to have it on card now. There you see the Gashapons there. I won't get into those because I can't remember one of them offhand. I did get the Gills Radar. After all these years, I found I have Gills motorcycle for the collection. I got Anki Rocks from Zoids, because if you know me, I love an Ankylosaurus, and a big robot one is even better. And then, yeah, I have the Kiva figure that's the form change. Something I've been eyeballing for a long, long time, and never got around to it, but it was right there in front of me. What else was I going to do? I got this, too. This is a Microman villain figure. It's all, you know, it's basically like 3 beast animals that can all combine into a lot of different ways. They all combine into like one big, like monster, or you can make robots out of them too. It's all magnetic connection, which makes this incredibly cool looking. I love the idea that this is all like a magnetic toy. That one is not here yet. It wouldn't fit in my luggage. So, my friend has to mail it to me. And who knows when we'll get that. But yeah, that, my friends, was TwitchCon and the whole California adventure. I get a feeling that not everyone in the group would want to go back for a second run, but I would love to go back and do TwitchCon again, especially if I can get back up to streaming and start hanging out with a lot more streamers. Because, yeah, that's a goal. That's a goal for 2025, is to grow Twitch again. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Like it's one of those like lifetime experience things, and I'm really hoping to build off of it. Yeah, maybe I will visit again. Might not have the whole crew there, but I wouldn't mind going again. So there is the whole adventure in California. Thank you very much for sitting through a long video, a long essentially vacation story. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.